guys, it's good everybody. My name is Minnie Lemata, but you guys can definitely call me Minnie M. Thank you so much for clicking into this video. Welcome. For those who still haven't subscribed, please do hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so as to never miss any of my future uploads. Today you guys, I will be taking you throughout the first year of a science student, marine biology to be specific, as that is the course that I pursued. Right, so the first things first is that by that time you would have received the great news, like congratulations, you have been granted an offer or a place to study, like in that certain institution that you would have been granted a place to study. So after being granted a place to study, so usually offer letters are communicated via SMSs, emails and phone calls. So yeah, then if you have been granted an offer, you will have to accept or decline that offer within the period of 3 days, right? So as I'll be taking you through the first year of a student, which means you will be accepting that offer, right? So you will have to accept that offer within the period of 3 days. And what happens is that you will have to fill in forms and acceptance forms, and then you will pay a fee. There's a fee that is payable if you're accepting an offer. So after accepting that offer, you will then be eligible for registration. Communication will be sent out to you as a prospective student as to how you can go about registration. So there are two methods of registration. We have manual registration and we have online registration. So with the online registrations, it's very easy. You will have to log in the Student Central, check into Student INL, and then there's a registration there, everything, the processes that you have to follow, every step you will be guided, and then you will register for your modules that you will be taking during your first year. And then with the manual manual registration. With the manual registration, you will have to stand in long queues. That's just the mere effect of it. You will have to stand in the long queues. Then the administrators will help you with the process. There are forms as well that you will have to fill. They will tell you the modules that you will have to take that year. So you fill those forms, and then they will do the rest. They will capture everything, and then it will appear on your Student Central when you check that you have registered. The module that you have been registered for will appear, the academic year, and so on and so on. So with the registration, students that have sponsors or employers will not be required to pay the minimum registration fee. Also, first year NSFAS funded students will not be required to pay the registration fee as well, as that will be covered by NSFAS as well. So after registration, you will then be eligible as well to make a student card. So a student card is very important, as well as you will need it to access some facilities of the institution. You will also need it on a daily basis. Actually, you will need a student card, so you'll have to carry it every day with you. As well, you'll also need a student card when you first check in your residences. In some residences, you actually require a student card to have access inside the premises, After registration, then guys, follows accommodation. So with accommodation, you have Department of Student Housing, DOSH, which usually refers as DOSH, Department of Student Housing, which deals with student accommodations and allocation and whatnot. So after registration, you will have to go to that Department of Student Housing. They will allocate you a residence that you will have to reside in. But you'll be eligible for a university residence if you have indicated in your application that you will require one. then the institution will grant you residence, like a place in a residence. So we have like 3 types of accommodations. There is on-campus residences, we have off-campus residences, and we also have like private accommodation. So with on-campus residences, like you'll be staying like inside the premises of your campus, so you won't need to travel long distances to get to campus, as you'll be staying inside the premises. Like it is very close to lecture venues, libraries, like it's inside the campus. And then we have off-campus residences or accommodation. So with off-campus residences, they also usually not that far from the campus. Mostly excuse that sound, by the way. Mostly off-campus residences are usually like 30 minutes, 40 minutes drive away from the campuses that you will be studying at. So with the off-campus residences, like transportation is offered for students. There is transportation that will take you from your residence to campus and from campus back to rest. So another thing that you guys need to note, is that admission to study does not necessarily guarantee a place in the university residence, and the university is not obliged to provide you with accommodation. So there are very limited spaces in the university residences, and you will have to apply for residence during registration. So you guys, places are awarded on a first come first served basis. However, assistance may be offered with accommodation, or you can make your own arrangements. Like you are more than welcome to make your own arrangements if you have means to do so. Okay, you guys, due to the limited capacities in residence, students must pay a certain amount before checking into rest, unless you can provide like documentary proof of financial aid or bursary covering your tuition fees for that year. And then coming to transportation, so usually transportation is available for off-campus students, and those who reside in private accommodation. So there will be like buses available to transport students from residences to campus, and from campus to back to their residences. Like you do not have to pay a daily fare, because that is covered in your tuition fees if you have a bursary, or a sponsor. So with the bus, with the buses or transportation, there is a bus timetable or bus shuttle that is available for students that each buses follow every single day. So it is your duty as a student to know the bus shuttle, otherwise you may be left behind and you'll have to pay for your own transport to the campus if you happen to miss the transport, or you will have to wait for the next bus available, right? Another thing, transport is also available during weekends for students to go to campus. If you like to go to a library, for instance, or if there is a certain assignment or task that you need to complete on campus, like transport will be available for you, and you will need a student card like to access that bus, like those campus buses for students. I believe it is one of their protocol measure to make sure that you are a student residing in that certain campus, and you are like studying in that campus or under that institution as well, like to mitigate like the risks that may be posed by strangers, like hopping into students' buses, maybe people who may have like ulterior motives or tendencies. So the carrying of student card is actually crucial for that as well. So you will have to carry your student card with you every single day, as security sometimes may check in to make sure that every student has a student card before you can like access or get inside the campus premises. Still on the topic of safety, there is a risk management team available on campus, and there are security guards, as I have mentioned, that to make sure that students are safety at all times. So as a student, you do not have to worry that much about safety, because as I've mentioned, we do have security guards, there are risk management teams that patrol every single day to make sure that students are okay, like there are no risk or dangers or threats that may be posed to students, right? And then coming to the very last section, I have the academics part of it, you guys. So with the academics, you need student card as well to access library. There are lanes where you can have access to computers. As first year students, usually like you are being granted your personal computers like 4 months in your first year. So during that period when you do not have your own personal computers for academics, there are ones provided on campus, and you will have to use your student card to access those areas. And we also have laboratories. As science student, you will be required to access laboratories, as you will be doing practicals. Like there will be practical sessions for different modules that you will be required to attend. So with practical sessions, you will be required to write practical reports. You'll be required to write practical reports. Some modules have practical tests or practical exams as well. So as a first year, before you can even embark on your practicals, they will allocate you different days in which you will be required to do your practical. So it is your duty as a student to make sure that you know which days has been allocated to you that you will be doing your practicals. Usually they put out like a list of student names and their dates outside the biology building on the notice board. Usually there is a notice board outside that building where you will be able to check the days that you have been allocated in which you will be doing your practicals. And also as a science student, you will require to have lab coats and closed shoes and goggles before you can even access like the laboratory buildings. It's one of the requirements and a major protocol for laboratories. You have to have lab coats, closed shoes and goggles, as you will also be required to do chemistry. There are lots of titrations there that are being done on chemistry. You'll be working with a variety of chemicals, so you will need to protect your eyes from that, as some may be harmful, right? And then there are also clinics available for students. Like if it happens that you're not feeling okay and you're in campus, you will need a student card to access like a student clinic. There's also an eye clinic to have your eyes tested if you require one. And there's also audiology students, which means you also have like audiology clinics where you can have your your ears checked out as well if you like. Very great, right? I know. Another thing, like during your first year, especially if you are an first funded student, at some point you will be granted a free PC, like a personal computer. So it is like a very important gadget to have, and you'll have to look after it, you guys, because you will need it to access like notes online. So there is a learning site where I was studying. It was called Moodle at that time. It's a learning site where you will be able to access like your notes, like the module outlines and courses outlines that you will be doing, like your lecturers' contact details, you will be accessing like assignment, quizzes, some even tests like online. So your PC is very significant, like it also be a very significant gadget that you will need as a first year student, and it will be granted for you free of charge, of course, to use it for that. And then another thing is that you will have to compile your own timetable, unlike in high school where you usually granted timetables to follow and you sit in one class and teachers will come and go. At university it is not like that at all. You will have to create your own timetable. If you do not know how to create one, you do not need to worry yourself about that. Usually assistance is offered to students to create one, because obviously as a first year student you're still trying to find your feet and so on, so you will be offered assistance with that. You do not have to worry that much about it. And another thing, you will have to attend the lecturers in different venues, which is why it is very important to have your own timetable, as it will be like shown as to which module you'll be attending, when you'll be attending, in which venue, so yeah, that timetable is also very important because it also outlines the dates in which you'll be doing your practicals. And another thing, you guys, with practicals, they are very important like aspects of your learning, as they will be contributing like a major percentage to your dual performance, which is DP, which is the mark that you will actually need to qualify in order for you to qualify for an exam. So unlike in high school where you just write test, write assignment, and then write exam, in university you will have to qualify, like get a certain percent for you in order to qualify to write an exam. So practicals are very important. Those you will have to do them, like you'll have to have completed like 80% of your practicals. Like they contribute like almost 0.5% of your DP. So yeah, you guys, you will be required to do tutorials. They are very significant as a first year student. Tutorials are also very, 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 very important, because it will also like help you in terms of you will be able to understand how like content is usually delivered, how you will be lectured. Like if you happen that you did not understand something or comprehend something during lectures, then you will be able to get help from tutors. There are tutors. There are supplementary instruction sessions where we have supplementary instruction or instructors. This will help you with whatever queries or question you may have like during the course of your lectures, in case there's something you do not understand. So some tutorials for some certain modules, they are very compulsory, like for instance Maths 150, like tutorials they also contribute to your dual performance. So you'll need to attend like 80% of those as well, as I've mentioned. So yeah, tutorials are very important. By the way, there's another video that I'll upload after this one where I'll be sharing with you guys how I became a tutor in my second year. Yes, you guys, I became a tutor on my second year. I'll be sharing with you guys, so do stay tuned and be on the lookout for that video as well. So yeah, then there are modules that you will be required to complete on your first year, as I have mentioned. So we have like 2 semesters per year. We have a first semester and the second semester. So on the first semester, I will mention the modules that I completed, because they are subject to change as years go by. The structures may be altered a little bit, the course may be changed there and there, and so are the modules or courses that you will be so are the modules that will be required to complete May change as well. So I did Maths 150 first semester. That I did Maths 150. I did Biology 101 and Biochemistry and Microbiology, which is BME, and then no, BME was on the second semester. Sorry. There was Physics 131. So Chemistry 110, Physics 131, Maths 150, and Biology 101. So another thing that you need to know is that first semester modules are usually prerequisite modules for the modules that you will have to do on the second semester. For instance, second semester modules, you have like Biology 102, Chemistry 120, Stats 130 for marine biology students, and then Biochemistry and Microbiology, which is BME. So in order for you to do Biology 102 second semester, you will need to have completed Biology 101 during the first semester. So it is very imperative as well that you inquire about the modules that you are supposed to take on the first semester, so that when second semester comes and you have passed all your modules, you will not have a problem when you have to register for the second semester like modules as well. So you have to inquire, make sure that you have registered for the correct core modules, as we have core modules and we also have elective modules. Core modules, they are very like important modules, so you have to make sure that you have registered for the correct ones, and otherwise you will have a problem the following year or semesters to come. So yeah, you guys, I believe I have covered everything. That is all I had today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you'll find this video as very useful and as informative as I believed it would be. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like, and share the video. Share the video, spread the love, help someone who might need the video as well. But until then, that is all from me. I'll see you on my next upload. Bye.